What's up, people? We are back with more Sherlock Holmes as we're in the midst of the Kew Gardens drama case, and I believe we've met Miss White. And is there a window? We cannot access that window.
What should we do next, Holmes?
You tell me, Watson. That's why I always ask him. He needs to tell me what to do. So there are 3 things we need to search up in the archives. One particular thing we need to find a use for, which is the keys. So we basically have to just open every single door that we can. And then we have to ask, I think, probably Martin Hames about the particular bust or slash statue that was broken and we found a piece of. So we kind of gotta figure out what's going on with that. And why it was hidden, because it seemed like it was hidden. So now we're just basically running around the Kew Gardens trying to find
these young plants
clues.
Must be delicate if they are kept in the nursery.
I'm no expert on plants, but I'm guessing they tried to breed some sort of new species, so that's why they kept. There's actually a nursery, which sounds weird for plants, right? But okay. Exhibition of rare and exotic plants, Kew Gardens. So those are the plants that were stolen, actually.
A master's degree diploma. It belongs to Martin Hamish.
Oh, Martin Hamish.
An award presented to Martin Hamish for Best Grower of the Year.
Alright, so he has some accomplishments. That's pretty impressive, I guess.
A thesis written by Martin Hamish.
Oh, this must be his...
A glasses case. It is empty. This area serves as Martin Hamish's office.
Alright, so this is where he... Let's see. Posters.
This poster is for an exhibition that Martin Hamish was directing. But it had nothing to do with Kew Gardens.
Huh. But when was it? 1895. Okay, that's pretty recent, I guess.
This certificate belongs to Martin Hamish. He won a horticultural competition.
Who was there? I heard footsteps.
We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window.
Okay, that has got to be important at some point. So we found a use for the keys. Not completely. Inspect staff buildings. We still need to inspect some more buildings. Martin Hamish is in there. Where does this lead us? That is right over here. Is there any place I haven't visited yet? You are here. I have no clue. And dry tropics. Maybe something in the beginning. Probably, yeah. Because we got the keys from the Montague's son. Albert Dunn, I believe is his name. Here we go. We can go in here. Wow. Laboratory table. Wet table traces.
There was a bottle here. It left behind a trace of the substance that pervaded the laboratory. Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around. Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around.
Gold dust? Good heavens. What's it doing here?
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks, so it may be a valuable auxiliary for various experiments.
But why would anyone perform such experiments in a botanical garden?
The bottle is no longer here, but it is possible to detect a faint scent. We need a good nose.
Toby! Fetch Toby. Oh, we gotta get Toby. Is there anything else in here? University book.
A botany book. This student's book belongs to Albert.
Repeat year? So he wasn't doing well in school.
chemicals, a sufficient quantity for some serious experiments.
A phonograph used for voice recording. Remarkable.
Yes, this is quite a modern laboratory. I don't hear anything.
And it seems clear from these multiple experiments that plants do respond to their environment and have a form of consciousness. Margaret White, February 1895. Report number 245.
Study report.
Huh. Interesting.
Martin Hamish's perception of plants. The notion of communication in the plant world has long been considered marginal, yet I remain convinced that some plants do indeed transmit chemical signals in the event of attack.
A study report by Martin Hamish.
Evidence required? We don't have evidence.
This is a table for experiments. It resembles my own.
Only this one is kept in good order, Holmes.
That was a cheap shot, Watson.
What should we do next, Holmes?
So that's where we could possibly...
Locked.
Holmes, Albert Dunn didn't give us the key to this door.
It does not matter. We will open it.
We don't need permission. Right. Which one? That one fits in here. No, this one definitely seems correct. This one will fit in here. Well, then the rest doesn't seem to fit. Oh god. Oh, we can move this. So this one we can move. This one as well? Yeah, this one too. Huh. Okay, this one is quite difficult. Gotta try and figure this one out. So this one can fit in here. I have a feeling that it definitely should. Anything else? This one. The rest seems to fit alright, I think. Maybe we should move it down a bit more, move it in towards the middle. Because how this looks to be pretty good. Like every single piece seems to just fit. Exactly like this. This one is perfect. This one seems to fit perfect. I don't know what I'm missing right now. Unless we're missing this one. That one doesn't belong there. Yes. Okay.
Open.
Open sesame. Protective equipment.
Such masks are generally worn when dealing with toxic chemicals.
And one of them was burned.
It appears as though the protective equipment is missing from here.
That one was quite a puzzler to figure out. Right. This one is missing.
Gloves. Waterproof aprons. Everything one might need for self-protection.
Do they grow dangerous plants here?
You would assume so. Miss
Miss
White's locker. Oh, we're trespassing. I love it.
A draft of the letter that Miss White sent to her parents.
That's what we're all about, you know? We're above the law. Dear Mother and Father, I'm writing this letter with reluctance to ask for your help. My studies and my housing costs have proven to be more expensive than I had anticipated. I fear, therefore, that I may not be able to manage in the long term. I know that we had our disagreements in the past, but would you be so heartless as to allow your daughter to fail her studies due to lack of money? Margaret.
Apparently, Miss White is a capable student.
Chemistry diploma. And then we're gonna check inside. Holy.
These jewels must be worth a small fortune.
What do you mean you were out of money
A
then?
vanity purse. It is of high quality.
Letter from the family. Family's reply. Margaret, we were surprised to receive your letter. How could you think to ask us for money after all these years that have passed since you left? And without any thought of us? You have never shared with us any detail of your success at the university, but you choose to do so now? We suppose you must be ashamed of us, for we are not from the same high class as your new friends. Yes, we are modest people, but you should learn to put your family first, as we at home have always done. And none of us ever compromised their reputation. Oh my god, this is so sad. As it appears, you already have with your employer, Mr. Dunn. No, Margaret, it is you who makes us feel ashamed. Outcasted by her family. Albert's letter to Miss White. Dear Margaret, I know how your financial troubles are overwhelming you at this present time. Please let me reassure you that I could not permit you to remain in such dilemma. I was born of a wealthy family. I would consider it an honor if you would accept my help. Your devoted servant? Servant? Martin Hamish's
Martin
locker.
Hamish's locker. Martin Hamish studied chemistry.
As well.
Interesting.
A letter from his ambitions. Mr. General Secretary, recent events unfolding at Kew Gardens obliged me to renew my application for the management position. As I have stated already in my previous letters, I believe that no one is better suited for the post. While Mr. Montague was alive, I understood your reservation to my suggestion. Your reasons were political, and so I was happy to comply. But now, the Kew Gardens lie in disorder. How can I stand by and allow it? How can I leave them in the hands of inexperienced people with no motivation? I must urge you to cast your decision as a matter of urgency, so that I may devote myself entirely to the noble task ahead, and free my mind from this uncertainty. He's really insistent on becoming the director.
Father and I, Kew Gardens.
Came here as a child. Interesting. What else is there?
A review on rare and exotic plants. Martin Hamish has written several pieces.
2, actually. Alright, the last locker, Albert.
Albert's locker. A picture of Miss White and Albert in front of the University of London.
And they seem to get along.
Probably a bit more than just getting along.
Specialist articles on shipyards and ship construction. Albert Dunn has a great passion for shipbuilding and the sea.
Refusal
A
letter.
rejection letter from the British Royal Naval College.
Royal Navy School of NCOs, Recruitment Centre, London. Sir, it is my regret to inform you that despite your excellent results within our entry examinations, we are unable to invite you into the Royal Navy School. Your father, Mr. Montague Dunn, has expressed his intention to entrust you the directorship of the Royal Botanical Garden in Kew, and it is clear that he would not release you for an entire year of naval training. Please accept all of our best wishes for your future at Kew Gardens. Yours very faithfully, J.M. Lemarchant, Director of... Okay. Gotta talk to Martin about this, as well as that, and this about Albert. So it seems like his father was just in the way of his own ambitions, and he wasn't kidding when he practically said that he was forced to work here. And when he said that, I believed him, but I didn't knew it was to such severe degrees, where he was actually applied to Navy school or whatever it's called, and his father just intervened and said, nope, not gonna happen. Right, Martin Hamish.
What is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was?
Oh yes, he forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure.
Wow.
It was with the intention of making
Father
a fool
of
of
the
him, Mr.
fucking
Holmes.
year.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert. That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who was such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
There is so much more going on around here.
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Because love has nothing to do with intelligence.
Mr. Hamish, was someone from your family connected with Kew Gardens?
Family? No. I'm the only one with a passion for botany.
Oh, no. I saw your picture.
I do not think so. This photograph of you and your father at Kew Gardens suggests the opposite.
But you have no right to.
Do tell us more about your father.
He was, indeed, the greatest botanist of his time in the British Empire. He worked together with Montague Dunn until the end of his life. He brought me in at the age of 12.
Did he get on well with Mr. Dunn?
No, I couldn't say that. They expanded Kew Gardens together, that was all. And it was all my father's work, for Dunn always lived the high life.
So Mr. Dunn was not helping your father?
Oh yes, he provided the financial support. And as far as he was concerned, that fulfilled his role. But the worst of it was, he declared himself as the master of Kew Gardens. Fame meant nothing to my father, so it was easy for Mr. Dunn to take all the credit.
Another damn credit hog.
There is a bust of Montague Dunn in the nursery.
A bust? Oh, that old thing. Further proof of that outrageous ego of his.
But why in that room, in particular?
Oh, I don't know. It has always been there.
Always been there? What about the fragment?
It is strange, because I recovered a fragment of the bust inside the Colonial Collection Room.
Really? Oh, well, so I am mistaken. It ought to have been removed during the cleanup. This room is so small.
Do you know who moved it?
I have no idea. Surely Mr. Dunn requested it. Do you have any more questions like this? Because fragments of rock are not my responsibility.
Evidently. Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Alright. Talk to Albert. Is there actually anything else that we can enter with the keys? I don't think so. Albert was in here. Hey, buddy. Well, not really, buddy. I heard you got rejected, eh?
I perceive that you are passionate about the Royal Navy.
Passionate? No, not really. I like ships, that is all.
Are you quite sure? You do not seem to be so interested in plants.
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
Oh, come on now.
And yet I know that the Royal Naval College rejected your application.
Ah, you truly are as clever as they say. Yes, that's correct. And in fact, my father was strongly against the idea. He did his best to ruin my plans, although I almost did succeed. But my dreams were shattered, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Another brilliant deduction to make. Albert's... Let's see. Hamish anger. White studies. Nope. It's humiliation and ambition. What happened to all the others? What happened to all the other ones? The new director. Nope. I don't know about all the others. There were definitely more clues here, god damn it. Alright, well, other than that, there's not much else we can do here, except that we need to fetch Toby as well as look for quite a number of things in the archives, so back to Baker Street we shall go. There's definitely an interesting dynamic at the Kew Gardens with Miss White as well as Albert Dunn seem to be pretty close, but they're not open about it, and then the Martin Hamish, who is very mysterious about, and I don't know, it just seems like he's dodging a lot of the questions. Like, oh, I don't keep myself busy with that. That sort of answers, you know? Alright, the archives. Search rare plants. Botany. A list of exotic stolen plants exhibited. We should do that at research, chemistry, not chemistry, toxins and poisons. Alright. Let us see. Hemia force.
That is not the one I need.
Trying to see which one. Nothing seems to be the same.
That is...
We don't need any of these. Wounds and injuries, criminalistics, martial arts, nope. Huh. Let me see, wait. Search rare plants. Botany. Medicine, body chemistry, nope. Botany, there we go. Exotic plants, poisonous. These plants have certain toxicity in common, more or less variable. Which one is this? Diona carnivorus, Carlina inebria, Florum diabolica, Prunus serotina, Chromaleana odorata. Right, so a bunch of that. Only the first three can be dangerous to humans, particularly Florum diabolica, but only under very specific conditions. The plant should react to a process of aggression, against which it will issue deadly spores. Deduction, deadly stolen plants to the poisoning, theft and murder. What else do we need to look for? Search for symbol of the broken pot. Symbol on the broken pot found in backyard. The symbol is not Kew Gardens. This glyph means the divine, if I'm not mistaken. History? Something with history? Maybe something with botany again. Medicinal herbs. I don't know what these are. I doubt it's in newspapers. Unless there's anything in newspapers about Kew Gardens. Nope. Nope. Jack the Ripper. Scan of the Divine Syndicate?
That is not the one I need.
Okay, that's not the one we need. Not here. Or here. Nope. Alright. Research, perhaps? The Divine Syndicate. The Divine Scholastic Syndicate for Vegetation Veneration. The members of the syndicate worship Triwan, the God King. They strive to obtain spiritual peace and release themselves from the material world, so generous donations are appreciated.
Here it is.
The Divine Syndicate is not a supplier to Kew Gardens. Besides, there is no address here.
So it came from an inside source. Basically, someone who works at Kew Gardens got it in there. Alright, the symbol on the flower pots found at Kew Gardens. The pots did not belong. We should probably look at the same thing then. Marks and symbols. London Garden Supplies. Seymour's Gardens. Garden equipment and supplies. We are a premier supplier for all landscape gardening and timber requirements. Full range supply and delivery of sands, soils, mulches, pots, and anything else you may need. 3 Blurton Road, London.
Here it is.
Okay. Alright, in the next video we're going to need Toby, but for now this is going to be the end, so thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more, and in the next video we're going to see this cute little doggy going to help us with our struggles within the case. So yeah, peace!